Everyone, thank you for checking out our 2024 Cornell iGEM Science video series. Today we'll be talking about oxidation. Before we get started, I have a question for you. What happens when you slice an apple and leave it out in the open? Well, if you've ever done this or you've seen it being done, then you know that when you slice an apple and leave it out in the air, it turns brown. And this is because of a process called oxidation. What is oxidation? Oxidation is a chemical reaction that occurs when certain fruits like apples are left out in the air. Apples contain a chemical compound called phenols and an enzyme called phenolase. In a cut apple, cells break down and release phenolase and phenols, which can then react with the oxygen in the air to produce melanin, which is a brown pigment that gives apple its characteristic color. And we're talking about apples and oxidation today because they're relevant for Project OncuRx. Our 2024 project for Cornell iGEM is OncuRx, and we'll be using an enzyme called alpha amyrin synthase from apples to scale up the production of a special compound called uracilic acid, which is known for its anti-cancer properties in the literature. So specifically today, we'll be looking at the experiment of how apples react with the oxygen in the air once they are peeled and undergo the process of oxidation. So the question we want to ask is it possible to slow down oxidation? You can take a few seconds and think about this answer to yourself. And I will say that the answer is yes. We can slow down the process of oxidation by delaying the reaction of phenolase. And the way that we can delay the reaction of phenolase is by using acidic liquids like lemon juice. And lemon juice contains a compound called absorbic acid. And absorbic acid has the ability to react with oxygen before phenolase does, which can slow down the oxidation and the browning process. So in order to investigate this, we will be conducting an experiment to see how various types of liquids can slow down oxidation. So in order to conduct this experiment, if you can have someone to help you, like a friend or a parent, I would recommend that you go get them. So you will need the following materials. First, you will need 5 clear sandwich bags. Then you will also be needing water, lemon juice, vinegar, and milk. And we will see how these liquids affect the oxidation process of apples. Now, based on the information we saw on the previous slide, we can hypothesize that lemon juice will be the most effective at slowing down the oxidation process because of the presence of ascorbic acid. But we do want to investigate this hypothesis. In addition to these liquids, you will also need apples, a kitchen knife to cut the apple, and also a marker to label the bags. So in order to conduct this experiment, the first step will be to cut the apple and to place 2 slices of the apple in each clear plastic bag. You will label each bag with the name of the liquid and one called control. You will then pour the liquid into the labeled bag, and you need enough to coat the apples after you lightly shake them. You will then soak the apples for 2 to 3 minutes, and then you can pour out the excess liquid, reseal, and check in about 10 minutes to see the results and how the oxidation process has played out. So I conducted this experiment and I cut the apples, I placed them in the bags, I poured in my liquid, and I allowed the apples to soak in the liquid for approximately 3 minutes. And then I took this time-lapse video over the course of the next 10 minutes so that you can hopefully see the oxidation process as it is happening in real time. So in this video, we can see how the apple slices are present in each bag. And over time, since they have been cut and exposed to the air, they are undergoing the oxidation process and at different rates depending on the type of liquid that they are soaking in. So if the time-lapse video helped you to see the oxidation process, or if it was a little bit unclear, the next slide I will show the results of this experiment. So as you can see, the control is significantly browner than the other apple slices, and the slice of apple that was soaked in the lemon juice appears to have the original color of the apple once it was originally cut, which matches our original idea that the lemon juice would be able to slow the oxidation process. If we want to achieve even better results next time, there are a couple things that we can do differently. First, we can test more apple slices to see a more representative effect of the liquids on the apples. We can also test different materials like salt or sugar, baking soda, or honey to see how they affect the apples. We can also leave the apples to soak for a longer time and check in on them over the course of an hour to see how the oxidation process occurs over time. So that's all for today. I hope that you enjoyed this quick video on how apples oxidize. Thank you for watching.